Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. Glad everybody could be with me on this good Monday. Please make sure you subscribe to me on Apple, SoundCloud, Spotify, and of course on YouTube. I'm on Instagram at I'm Not Repeating Myself Pod, and I'm also on TikTok at I'm Not Repeating Myself Pod. Hope everybody had a good weekend, man. Hope everybody is staying cool or warm, however it is funny as weather is affecting you. But nonetheless, I hope you guys are all doing right. Hope everybody had a good weekend. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into this shit, man. So first up, we got some new music to discuss. Jill Scott dropped her album called To Whom This May Concern. Now, this actually dropped last week, so I didn't have a chance to review it because I didn't have a chance to listen to it. But it actually dropped on Valentine's Day weekend. Perfect for an R&B album to drop. But this album is good. This is a good listen, man. Shout out to Jill Scott. I love this project, man. This this album is 19 tracks. And I want to shout her out for also, doing right with her features as far as the rap collaborations. Cause you all know sometimes when you do an R&B album, you're not gonna have, you know, no rap songs on there or, you know, any rap features really on your album. But if you do, you gotta make sure that it meshes perfectly. And she did that on this album. She got Jid on here, she got Ab Soul on here, she got Too Short on here, she got Tierra Whack on here. And the collaborations as far as the rap was dope. Off the rip with dope intro, dope intro. Name is fitting. Then you go right into Be Great. I love that record. And you got Northside with Tierra Whack. Of course, you got Beautiful People, and you got Off the Back prior to that. But a lot of the transitions are flawless as well. Like my standout tracks on this album is Northside with Tierra Whack. I like Me For. I like Older Nikki with Ab Soul. I like To Be Honest with Jid, and then I like the outro with Sincerely Do. Like, so this is a very well put together project. Shout out to Jill Scott for still giving us, music 30. She's been in the game for like 30 years, honestly. So, she did a verses a few years ago. I think her and Erica Badu did a verses. I think that was 2020. One of the better verses that we had. But her name speaks for itself. She got a dope catalog, and it's dope to see that she's still in her creative bag 30 plus years into her career. So salute to Jill Scott for giving us this album. Definitely some tracks on here I'm gonna keep in rotation. Again, that is To Whom This May Concern. Definitely check that out. Again, my standout tracks are Northside with Tierra Whack, Me For. I like Older Nikki with Ab Soul, and To Be Honest with Jid. So salute to Jill, man. She doesn't really even sound. She doesn't sound dated neither. A lot of times when you've been doing music for so long, you could find yourself as an artist trying to do new shit or trying to tap into a lane that's not really for you. But no, she sounds great. She sounds great. I know she's gonna be doing. My mom is actually going to see her in a month actually, so it's good to see that she's still doing good, sounding good. She's continuing to do what she loves. So salute to Jill Scott, man, for giving us again. That album is To Whom This May Concern. Please go check that out. So next up, we got Baby Keem. Baby Keem dropped the album called Casino, and that dropped Friday. Yeah, that dropped Friday. So Baby Keem dropped the album called Casino. This is a 11 track album. I played this about 2-3 times. It was about 37 minutes. So, and again, I always say this every time I go to review an album. I love the 12 to 15 track albums. Like that's perfect for me. I love that. Again, this album is 11 tracks, but this album is solid. It's solid. It's nothing really that blows me away. It ain't nothing crazy. It's a solid slash average album. Like it's average. It's cool. I don't really have too many standout tracks on this album. I like I'm Not a Lyricist and Sex Appeal with Too Short. Now, when I first heard that track with Too Short, I was kind of like, and then I ran it back a few more times. Like, oh, that shit kind of catchy. I fuck with it. But I Am Not a Lyricist and Sex Appeal, those are my standouts. Casino, the beat. Now, I will say the production on here is dope. The production on here is dope, but the rapping, It's not really for me. It's just something that's not. It's not really grasping me. It's not like again. It's 11 tracks, and I really only like 2 tracks on here, and that's I'm not a lyricist. It's Sex Appeal. Everything else is kind of like I'm cool on it. But again, the production on here is dope, but the rapping is kind of like it's alright. It's nothing really crazy. Of course, you got the feature with Kendrick Lamar on Good Flirts. That record is alright. Now, that might be one of the beats. If I had to say, I wasn't really feeling too much on here. It was that, but yeah, sound wise, it's better. The beats on here is better than the rapping. I'll say that's what I said. I don't really have too much gripes with the production on here, but as far as the rapping, yeah, I'm kind of cool on it. I'm kind of cool on it. I know he had a live listening party, which I think it was a dope idea. I think honestly, man, a lot of rappers should take that method as well. Um, I think it can help with your sales. I think it can also help with the connection with your fans. But I did see that he did a live listening party for this album. I think that's a dope idea. I think a lot of rappers could benefit from something like that. Definitely. So I give him props as far as that. But as far as his album, it's alright to me. It's alright. It's alright. Like again, I like I'm Not a Lyricist, and I like Sex Appeal with Too Short. But outside of that, everything else on here is pretty much forgettable. That's just me being honest. So salute for him for putting out this album. I know I've heard of Baby Keem before on that Family Ties record that came out like 2021 with Kendrick. Was that Family Ties? I think that was Family Ties. Let me see. Da-da-da-da-da. Let me see. Da-da-da. Yeah, that was Family Ties. Yeah, that was Family Ties. That was 2020. Damn, that was 2021. That's crazy. But I know he got a couple of other projects, a couple of other EPs. He's not, really somebody I'm, running and listen to. But I mean, he's cool. He's cool. So if you want to check that out, check out Casino by Baby Keem that dropped on Friday. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got as far as that. And then next up, we got Cyhi. He debuted a new track. Let me see. I ain't gonna play it, of course, because I don't want my shit getting sniped. But let me see. I got that track on here. He premiered it on YouTube. He don't actually have it on streaming yet. It's a project called No Competition, produced by Kanye West and Bugs the Beast and exclusive. It's a dope record, man. It's a dope record. This nigga, Cyhi and Kanye West are a perfect collaboration as far as anytime I see Cyhi and Kanye West on some shit, I'm running to listen to that shit. Now, Cyhi The Prynce is a very interesting rapper as far as his career. I remember when I first heard him. I first heard him on Soul Paul 2010. I'm like, who is this nigga? Then I went and did my research. He had a couple of mixtapes already out. He had the Royal Flush, and then I think that following year he dropped the Royal Flush 2. That had to be 2020. No, that had to have been 2012 because he got Whoop De Doo on there with Big Sean and Cold as Ice, all that other shit. He got the Ivy League, another dope mixtape. He got some dope mixtapes under his jacket. But when it came to albums, I really thought he was gonna be the next one up, and it never panned out to be that way. I don't know why. Really, I felt like Kanye and Good Music really didn't push him as much, or maybe with him. He just didn't want to put in the work as far as delivering, the albums. He only got one album. That's No Dope on Sundays. But I kind of feel like Cyhi The Prynce is kind of like the Skip the Malou of the rap game. Of course, if you're watching this pod, you should know who Skip the Malou is, but that's how I view him. That's how I view Cyhi. Cyhi is like Skip the Malou of the rap game. Somebody who's a street ball legend, went to college, played in the NBA, wasn't really a standout in the NBA. He had average career in the NBA. But he had a couple of highlights to show that he could get busy. That's how I look at Cyhi The Prynce. Like, when he's rapping, he's gonna rap. There's no debate as far as his rap skills. But as far as, having the albums, having moments, he don't really got those. Like, when it's on the grand stage, it's kind of like, you hear him and he kind of goes away. Like, he just, when it comes to delivering on an album level, he don't really got that. But if he does a feature, he's gonna get busy, and that's how that's how I use the Skip to My Lou comparison. So, but anytime he rap, he gets busy. So hopefully, if he does come with an album, it's consistent after that. I'm not saying, of course, I'm not saying he got to drop an album every single year, but it would be dope to hear from him consistently as far as an album level. I know he gets a lot of money from, writing records, ghostwriting for Kanye, all this other shit. But when you're that great of a rapper, as I view him, I want to see more of you on the album front. Of course, we're in the time now you can't really do mixtapes no more. But on that front end, he was dropping mixtapes. But then when I heard him on Soul Paul, that 2010, in between that 2010 to 2015 window, I expected at least 2 or 3 albums from Cyhi The Prynce, and we just never got them. But that new track that he got is fire. There, no competition. And of course, we all know Kanye West, when it comes to producing a track, he's gonna deliver. He's gonna deliver. That goes without saying. And of course, I don't fuck with Kanye West as far as all that antics and all that other shit. But when it comes to producing, that's why I tout him as the best ever. When it comes to producing, he's one of the best ever. I got him in my top 5 rappers of all time as well. But them two is just a perfect marriage. So is this an album that's going to be mainly produced by Kanye West? Is he going to get other producers as well? We just have to wait to see. But I will hope to see that Cyhi The Prynce is also at the same time too, rolling out consistency as far as albums. For his last album to come out 2017, that's kind of that's a long time. That's damn near 10 years. And I remember prior 2010, again, when I first heard him, his first album didn't come until 20. So he's one album in almost damn near almost 20 years. It'd be 2027 next year. Really first heard of him around 2010. Like, to have one album in almost 20 years is fucking insane for somebody that's that great of a rapper, man. So hopefully we continue to hear more from Cyhi. This nigga is dope. He's a very dope rapper, but I guess sometimes, certain rappers just fit into a lane and they just never really get out of that lane. But it would be dope to hear from, especially if it's overproduction like this. That's another thing. When you got rappers who can rap and then can put it together with production, that just makes for great music. So hopefully Cyhi comes out with some more dope records. Hopefully this is an anticipation for an album that's coming out. I know you had a couple of tweets over the last couple of weeks that's kind of been ruffling niggas' feathers as far as, the rap game in the streets. I ain't really going to get all of that. I know what the play was. It was all the lead up to this shit right here. But salute to Cyhi, man, for this dope project, man. I mean, this dope record. And hopefully the album matches what I heard on this. So salute to that, man. So that's pretty much it as far as new music. There's nothing really else to cover as far as that. Nobody else really dropped. Oh no, Mozzie and ESCG dropped, but I'm not gonna hit play on that album because I'm not a fan of ESCG, and I'm not a fan of reviewing somebody's music and critiquing it if I don't listen to them. But I do like Mozzie, so I'm pretty sure that he doing his thing on there as well. But I know them two also did drop a project this past week as well. R.I.P. Jesse Jackson, man, a pivotal leader in the civil rights movement. He passed away this past week at the age of 84, I believe. So R.I.P. to Jesse Jackson. Definitely gotta, pay my respects and condolences to his loved ones. I haven't seen anything as far as what they're gonna do as far as a memorial or funeral for him as well. I don't know if it's gonna be private for the family, but definitely gotta pay my respects to Jesse Jackson. Definitely one of the pivotal leaders. Stood next to Martin Luther King. I know a few, some of us black people have our own, how can I say, views of Jesse Jackson, but overall, in my eyes, I cannot not pay him his respects. You know what I'm saying? So RIP to Jesse Jackson. So now another interesting development that happened in this Epstein shit, right? So former Prince Andrew Windsor was arrested. Andrew, who has faced scrutiny over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein, was taken in custody on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Andrew Windsor was arrested Thursday by a local UK police force on suspicion of misconduct in public office, an extraordinary development as a former royal faces intense scrutiny over his ties to late sex predator Jeffrey Epstein. He is the first senior member of the royal family to face arrest in nearly 380 years. Thames Valley Police issued a statement announcing that they detained a man in his 60s from Norfolk and were carrying out searches at addresses in Berkshire and Norfolk. The police statement did not name the former prince, but the report is consistent with Andrew's alleged misconduct. The agency had previously said it was evaluating a complaint that Andrew may have shared confidential information with Epstein. After about 12 hours in the Alsham Police Investigation Center, a black Range Rover came to gather the former prince. The BBC reported that Andrew attempted to lie down in the back seat but was not able to do so he could be snapped by a photographer. Andrew, brother of King Charles III, has been under the microscope over his relationship with Epstein following the latest release of files by the U.S. Department of Justice. He has denied wrongdoing. Charles said the royal family would cooperate with the investigation. What now follows is full, fair, and proper process by which the issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities. He said in the statement, in this, as I have said before, they have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Let me say clearly, the law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. He added, meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all. The arrest came on the same day as Andrew's birthday. He had just turned 66. Ooh. Andrew was stripped of his royal title in October as more details came to light about his relationship to Epstein. Early this month, he moved out the Royal Lodge in Windsor and relocated to the King's Sandringham estate. He remains eighth in line to the British throne, and the UK government would need to pass a new law to remove him from the line of succession. Yeah, that's crazy. So, of course, as we know, the files were released, and a lot of it is redacted, of course. A lot of it is blacked out. But these files released about, I want to say, was it 3 weeks ago? Yeah, I want to say these files were released about 3 weeks ago. And of course, it's a bunch of names that have came up. Some celebs, some just, other people who's messing around with Epstein, doing, all the nasty and disgusting things he was doing with minors and women. And a lot of people they have been searching names just to see who was involved, who was doing emails. I know Harvey from TMZ, he was involved as well, and TMZ really hasn't been speaking on that as well, but I find that very interesting. But this whole Epstein shit, I'm gonna say this, because Epstein is gone now, of course, he's dead. But if we're gonna start arresting people, there needs to be justice behind it as well. I don't want this to be a show thing. And what I mean by this is like basically doing shit like this. Arresting people. If you're going to do your proper investigation and you know that there's ties to Jeffrey Epstein in terms of the acts that he was doing, people have to go down because, of course, he was not the only one involving himself in these acts. He had friends. He had associates. He had people that would bring him bring him girls. Of course, the lady, Jazine Maxwell, she's currently under arrest right now. She still awaits trial, I believe. I think she's going to start name dropping some people as well. But there needs to be a lot of arrests and people just going away behind this whole shit. We all know this was a major case. Of course, again, Epstein, he's gone. But I don't want this to just be a show thing. Like, if these files are going to be put out, there needs to be justice behind it as well. Because my whole thing is you could have just kept the shit to yourself. So when you release these files to the public and we're able to see who was involved in all of these acts, what is going to come behind it? What is all going to come behind it? I don't want this thing to be, we just release these files and it just be for show. Because if you have hardcore proof and evidence that people were involved with Jeffrey Epstein, these people need to be arrested and held accountable. Don't put these files out, make a show with arrests, and then let these people go. That's the only thing I don't want to come from this shit. Don't release these files. You know people were involved with Jeffrey Epstein and they was doing these hideous things to these minor girls at the time, and Nothing come from that. That's really my only thing. So it's cool, like, to go ahead and put these files out. And of course, a lot of this shit is already redacted. But what's gonna come behind it? It shouldn't just be a show. Because if you're gonna put it out and nothing happens, then you're just opening up old wounds for former victims. And it's like, okay, what is there to do with this? What is there to do to this? Are we gonna hold these people accountable, or is this something we're just gonna be able to look up and look at? That's how I'm viewing this whole situation. So yeah, if he was definitely involved with Jeffrey Epstein, and you got emails and you got pictures or you got accounts that are documented, lock him up, throw away the fucking key. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. And we all know that when it comes to shit like this, because Jeffrey Epstein he was just a sick motherfucker. He wasn't like a high profile name or nothing like that, but he was connected with people who had a name and connected with people of higher power, and even some people on the same level as him or below. I mean, he was a money manager, basically. He was a money manager for rich people. So he wasn't nobody of like no celebrity status or nothing like that. But this man basically had a ring. And if you was shoulder to shoulder with him, you was involved in these acts as well. So hopefully there's justice behind this shit. This is just not something that we're gonna put out and nothing come from it. Because for all these years, people been begging for the files, begging for the files, begging for the files, begging for the files. So you put these files out, some action has to come behind this. So this is one of the first steps. I think there will be more arrests. I don't believe that he will be the only one, and we just have to wait to see how this shit unfolds. But hey, man, who's next on the list? We got to get these motherfuckers out of here, man. We can't have pedophiles running around. It's just no room for that. That goes without saying. So I'm very interested to see how this shit play out. This shit should not just be for show, just putting this shit out, because then you could have just kept the shit sealed up. Next up, so Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was looking suspect and looking very inappropriate after his team won the Daytona 500. Now, when I first seen the video, it definitely looked inappropriate. It looked weird. I'm not gonna jump out the window and say Michael Jordan was no pedophile or nothing like that. I'm not saying that. I need hardcore proof when it comes to stuff like that. But it definitely looked inappropriate. And if it was my niece and nephew or my child, I definitely would have looked at Mike like, hey, nigga, like, what you got going on? Now, of course, they saying that, Ice Chunks was in the boy's shirt. His father done come out and said that was, he's basically, how can I say, he's basically saying that's what happened with that whole situation. But when you look at the video, it looked like Mike's hand was like he had a wide grip and he was going like this. I know if you get ice in your shirt and it's down here, you take the shirt, you grab it, and you just wave it side to side. You get what I'm saying? And then like when he was rubbing on his leg and shit like that, and I didn't really see. It could be the quality of the video, but I didn't see no ice chunks come out. Now the boy's shirt was soaked. It was soaked. So of course, when they got the Gatorade bath, his dad actually was the driver in the race. But it definitely looked funny. I seen a lot of people saying that was the first thing that I saw. A lot of people saying he had ice chunks in there, but I didn't see no ice chunks come out, and the boy's shirt looked like it was still tucked in. So I don't know. I know if you get ice down your shirt, you grab it and then you like shake it side to side. You're not constantly, gripping. But it did look like he was gripping at that little boy's behind. So that definitely was a topic this week, and I definitely saw it. And I will say, yeah, Mike, that did look inappropriate. That definitely did look inappropriate. But the father came out and said it was nothing inappropriate. Mike was trying to help get my son's get the ice chunks out my son's shirt, whatever the case may be. But that definitely was a topic this week, and it kind of overshadowed the fact that Mike had won the Daytona. His team had won the Daytona 500, and that also was off the heels of Mike winning his lawsuit against NASCAR as well. So, he got a double victory. But that definitely was the headlines this week, and yeah, it definitely looked inappropriate. It definitely looked inappropriate. So next up, Kevin fucking Durant. Kevin Durant with these burner accounts again. Now, this nigga hasn't tweeted in probably about a week or so. We all know Katie. He's constantly tweeting his thoughts. He's engaging with fans on the timeline, whether he's trolling or not. But KD got caught up once again, like he did with Golden State, with these burner accounts. This nigga was in a group chat under another Twitter. I think he had 2 Twitter accounts. Get off my Dickerson is something 77. But Kevin Durant once again caught up with this burner account shit. Kevin Durant is too big of a superstar, one of the all-time greats, A-list celeb, to be caught up for some shit like this. Why are you, Kevin Durant, in a group chat on Twitter at that, knowing these motherfuckers be fanned out? Niggas be fanned out. You're in a group chat with niggas for years, because some of them screenshots go back to when he was on the goddamn Nets, waiting for an opportunity to leak this shit. Waiting for an opportunity to leak this shit. Waiting for an opportunity to leak this shit. You can't be more dumb than that. You can't. In there talking about your teammates. You in there, you're calling Jabari Smith the R word. You calling somebody else. Well, allegedly, you're calling Devin Booker and the head coach at the time when he was on the Suns, Hitler and Stalin. And KD don't give a fuck. And you cannot give a fuck, but it's a proper way to not give a fuck. Don't give a fuck in a public platform on Twitter with niggas who are fans of you. Those are not your close friends and not your family. Not give a fuck with your family members and your close friends. If you got gripes with your teammates and you talking shit about your teammates, which I'm pretty sure everybody do, but they're not doing it on a Twitter group chat. They're doing it with their family, they mama, they daddy, they sister, they auntie, they uncles. You doing it in a group chat with niggas that you don't know like that for real. And they're talking about miscellaneous shit right before a nigga talking about, you about to tip off in about 5 minutes. What you doing, bro? But this was going to end bad the moment that he entered that group chat. For the simple fact that niggas are fanned out. They owe no loyalty to you. We all know we live in an era where everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to have a gotcha moment. Everybody trying to rub shoulders with somebody to make it seem like they somebody. That's just nasty work. It's just nasty work. And KD should know better. He should know better. And then right before all the pictures and videos leading up to him, this happened right on All-Star weekend too. So prior to the All-Star game, we see him walking up, head down on the phone. He knows what's going on. He knows exactly what's going on. So when he's asked about it, let me go ahead and play this clip when he's asked about it. This is what Kevin Durant had to say in terms of everything that's been happening on Twitter.
I know you gotta ask these questions, but I'm not here to get into Twitter nonsense. I'm here to see and keep pushing. But I know I get you up halfway. My teammates know what it is. We've been locked in the whole season. Enjoyed our break. We had great practice today. Look forward to the road trip.
Let me say this, man. If it wasn't true, KD would have denied that shit. I'm not here to get into Twitter nonsense. Nigga, you caught. You caught. And if I'm a teammate of Kevin Durant, I'm definitely addressing him about that shit. I'm definitely addressing him about, not publicly, but I'm pulling, hey bro, let me holler at you real quick. What's up with all this that you saying in this group chat about me? Let's address that. It's weird. It's weird for him to come back to practice, play games with these niggas, knowing that this cloud is over. Like, what you doing for real, bro? What you doing for real? Like, I don't respect shit like that. That's some sucker shit on KD part. That's some sucker shit on KD part. And he has to move smarter. You're a name. This is not 2000, probably 4 or 5 when you was just young KD chopping it up with your friends. Like, no. You're a professional, my nigga. And again, you cannot give a fuck, but not give a fuck around your family. Close friends. Shit that you know would never leak out. Bro, you in a group chat with everything you probably saying, regardless if you saying you like fried chicken, they screenshotting that. That was just set up. That was set up That was set up to go wrong from the jump. And it should never happen. But again, this is another occurrence with KD. So KD, obviously, he just don't give a fuck. But if I'm KD's teammate, I'm not letting that shit slide, bro. We gonna have to have a conversation. Nigga talking real crazy in them group chats. But you put out here, you put on the front like, oh yeah, it's all love. My teammates know what it is. Nah, bro, you did the same shit with Russ in OKC. Now Russ name come up again. Oh, the cocaine triple double barrel, whatever the fuck that shit was. That's fucking insane. This nigga called a triple double cocaine bear. He called Russ that. Said Kyrie act like me and James shitting in his cereal, but he treat the European like damn, bro, like what the fuck? That's what we doing, but you call these niggas your brothers though. You call these niggas your brothers though. And it's unprofessional more than anything. It's okay to have issues with your teammates. Everybody not always gonna get along. But to talk shit about your teammates in a group chat full of fans, that's some whole shit. I'm just calling a spade a spade. That's some whole shit. Of course, you're not always going to get along, but hey, had that conversation with Jabari, bro. You don't got to slander that man name in a group chat, bro. That's weak shit. And again, you should know better. Like, you damn near a billionaire, KD. A-list status celebrity. And you in a group chat talking shit about your teammates. Whole shit. Niggas in there, they dick riding. Laughing, kikiing about everything he got going on in there as well. Niggas not holding that man accountable. Why? Because they fanned out. All around whole shit going on in that group chat. All around. I can't respect that shit. KD just needs to put the burner account shit. Be done with that burner account shit, dog. Because obviously you don't know what you got going on. You don't trace your steps. Like you just wide open. You wide the fuck open, KD. You wide open. And then I see this report about, the boardroom staff, his company boardroom, his media company, fired some staff members without notice. I don't know if that's tied to whatever it's funny timing. Funny timing for there to be firings off the heels of this. Does it have something to do with this getting exposed? I don't know. But it's funny motherfucking timing. I tell you that. I will tell you that. KD, man, you got to be better, bro. You got to be better. I just don't respect shit like that, man. I don't respect that shit. He's too much of an all-time great to subject himself to shit like this. For the second fucking time. He just went through this with Golden State when he went to Golden State. He didn't learn the first time. So you got to take what come with that, bro. Like, that's somebody I wouldn't want to be close with. Because now this is starting to speak to your character. Like, damn, bro, I know if you really got an issue with me, like, you gonna throw rocks and hide your hand in my face. I don't respect a nigga like that. I'd rather you tell me you don't fuck with me or you got an issue with me. We could discuss it or we cannot be cool and we just move on from the shit. Then go get your funky ass in a group chat full of fans and talking shit about me. Yeah, no, hell no. I ain't got shit for KD on that one, bro. I'm not. He got to take whatever come with this shit. He got to take whatever come with it. I seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, a lot of shit that he's saying ain't true." That's not the fucking point. It's all about how you go about things. It's a proper way to do shit. Vent to your fucking mama, dog. Vent to your daddy. Vent to your brother. Do not vent to fans who have no loyalty to you. They don't care about you, KD. They care about the attention you giving them. But they don't care about you, and it's obvious because they've been screenshotting this shit for years now. Niggas saying, "Oh yeah, I've been in there. Most of the time we were just talking some cool." Moving on, man. Just whole shit, man. It's just it's weak. It's weak. So, moving on. Adam Silver discussing how to prevent taking in the NBA. So let me go ahead and read this that Shams dropped. Commissioner Adam Silver informed that the league's 30 general managers on Thursday that the NBA plans to make anti-taking rule changes for next season. Sources tell ESPN. Stakeholders have intensified dialogue about combating tanking. So, multiple sources with knowledge of Thursday's GM meeting, as well as a late January competition committee meeting, told ESPN that the following concepts have been discussed to curb tanking. First round draft picks can be protected only top 4 or top 14. Lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline or a later date. No longer allowing a team to pick top 4 in consecutive years and or after consecutive bottom 3 finishes. Teams can't pick top 4 the year after making the conference finals. Lottery odds allocated based on 2-year records. Lottery extended to include all play-in teams. Flattened odds for all lottery teams. I'm gonna put it to you like this. This is how you prevent tanking, because obviously they changed the odds in 2019. It used to be the worst team had a 25% chance. They did it down to like the 3 teams with the worst record each have a 40% odds of getting the number 1 pick. This is how you do it. Fuck the 14 team shit. Let's cap it out at 10. 10 worst teams, they go in the lottery, each team get 1 ball. Do it like that if you want to keep the lottery. Or you don't do the lottery and the worst team gets the number 1 pick like the NFL does. But back-to-back years, you can't continue to have the number 1 pick. You get thrown into the other pool, regardless if you didn't make the playoffs or not. That's how I would fix it. So you're either going to do cap it at 10 worst teams, throw those 10 teams in the lottery, each team get 1 ball, and you do it straight like that. And then if you have the worst record again next year, you don't get to go in the lottery. You go in the pool with the rest of the teams. That's how you prevent tanking, in my opinion. I know everybody gonna come up with ideas, but that's how I would fix it, because it's getting shameless. It's not fair to the fans. It's not fair to even the players who probably want to play hard, but they're going against, they have to stick to the code and what they doing and all this other shit. It's just it's all nasty. I heard some suggestions of Adam Silver getting rid of the lottery and doing straight up getting rid of the NBA draft and letting college players do free agency. That's a terrible fucking idea. That's a terrible idea, because that's gonna create a problem at the college level, which I'm gonna speak about next. But this whole lottery shit, I still didn't think it was gonna be a problem, being that they just changed the odds a few years ago. Again, like I said, a few years ago, they just had it to where, the top 3 teams had a 14% chance. And get rid of protection shit. Get rid of the protection shit. Just completely get away with that. We doing straight up worst win-loss record. 10 teams. Throw them in the lottery. Each team get 1 ball. And then the next year, if you bad again, your ass getting back in the pool with the rest of the teams. I think that'll definitely curb the tanking shit, because it's getting fucking ridiculous now. Like, you got teams being up 20 points and then they pulling players in the 3rd quarter, then the other team come back and win because they want to keep their draft position. Now, at the basketball level, one player can change the trajectory of your franchise because there's less players. At the NFL level, you don't really have to deal with tanking because there's so many fucking players on your team. The only player that's really kind of going to change the trajectory of your team is a quarterback position. But it's so many players on the team. That's why if a team is bad, most of the time your ass is going to get fired midway through the season. You might not even make it to the end of the year. So that's why you don't really see tanking at the pro level. Too many motherfuckers' jobs is on the line. GMs is getting fired. Coaches is getting fired. So you ain't going to see no tanking at the NFL level. For whatever reason, this NBA shit, people want to highlight to the, filling the seats and who's going to be the player to save the franchise, but also get fans in the seats, bring excitement and all this other shit. It's a lack of integrity. It's a lack of integrity, and it has to. You have to go about it better. You have to go about it better. And the only way it's gonna be that is if you put hard restrictions on this shit. I seen Charles Barkley talking about, you shouldn't be able to raise your ticket prices if you're below 500. I don't think that's gonna solve anything. I understand the sentiment, but I don't think that's going to do anything as well, because then they'll go ahead and set a price point and just, boom, keep it at that. That ain't really going to do shit. So, yeah, we might be below 500, but this is our set price point. And we was at that at a certain point when we was above 500. So I don't think that's really going to do anything. But Adam Silver, I mean, it seems like he has lost the reins in terms of how to run the league. I don't know, and he's partly to blame because when he became commissioner, and niggas gonna kill me for this, but I've been 10 toes on this. He became too player friendly. That was Adam Silver's problem when he first became commissioner. He became too player fucking friendly. And I always say this, and I mean this till this day. I am on the owner side next NBA CBA. I'm on the owner side 100%. Because the players have gotten too much power. And I'm not ashamed to say it. There was a time where I was on the player side. But now you need a balance. And I'm not saying you got to shift the power completely to the owner side, but I'm on the owner side as far as leverage. The owners should not budge next CBA. Because you got players who don't want to play. Salute to Adam Silver again for the 65 game rule. That was one of the best things that he did. In-season tournament was pretty dope as well. All-Star game was a little bit more competitive this year. It was a good All-Star game. Shout out to Kawhi. But other than that, it's a lot of fuck shit going on. You got to start holding the GMs accountable because they want to bench players so they could get better draft position. Nah. But I think Adam Silver's issue was when he first became commissioner, he was too player friendly. And it came back to bite him in the ass. And now we're seeing the effects of that. Hate to say it, man. You got to run this shit with an iron fist. Players could like it or not. Like you can't give the players too much power. We see what happens when you give the players too much leverage. And I'm not saying every single player, of course, but the overall consensus, the players don't give a fuck about the fans. They just don't. They don't. They talk all this good shit on commercials and on their IGs and shit like that. Salute to the fans. Then when you hold them accountable, they doing fuck shit. Or they cursing you out in some tweets or, all this other shit. They groaning about that. A whole bunch of bullshit. But as far as this tanking shit, that's what you need to do. Cap it out at 10 teams. Each 10 teams get thrown in the lottery. That's it. Next year, if you worse again, you go in the pool with the rest of the teams, even if you didn't make the playoffs. It is what it is. That's how you curve this shit. That's how you curve it, in my opinion. Anybody else with some better suggestions, I'm definitely open to hearing them. But other than that, that's pretty much all I got. Segue into my next conversation, Daryn Peterson. Yes, there is a concern with Daryn Peterson. Now, he is slated to be the number 1 pick in the draft, no lower than number 2, 6'6" guard out of Kansas. He has all the skills. He has all the talent to be a franchise player. But this motherfucker is low managing at 18 years old. That's a problem. Niggas can call it whatever else they want to call it. It's low managing. That's what he's doing. He's not really hurt for real. He already done missed 11 games. He just had a bad game against, what was that? I think that was Cincinnati. They blew him out in Kansas, actually. He didn't have a pretty good game. This motherfucker shooting a shot, making it, and subbing himself out the game. That's crazy. That's crazy. Crazy. And NIL is also a major thing in college basketball, too. And I've spoken about NIL. I do not want the NIL shit to go away. I do not want it to go away. But you're going to have to start putting more stipulations on that as well. And Bill Self, he's fed up. You can see it. Bill Self is set up. Now, he ain't going to completely jump out the window because he shouldn't, obviously, as his coach. But you could tell after his last post-game conference that he was kind of like disappointed that he didn't finish the game. How are you low managing at 18 years old, my nigga? Play the games. Just play the games, bruh. This go for each level. NBA, college basketball. Play the fucking games. That's what you're here for. That's what you're here for. If you don't have a significant injury, you should not be logging 18 minutes in a fucking game. It shouldn't happen. I don't care what nobody say. Miss me with the he's protecting his. I don't want to hear that. You're here to play basketball, bro. Play the fucking games. You at 18, 19 years old should not be low managing. It should not be happening. Because that's what he's doing. Shout out to AJ from BYU. Played 40 minutes. They say, hey, they need me to play 40 minutes. I'm going to play 40 minutes. Salute. Playing the game. That's what you're here for. Playing the game. So yes, as a GM of an NBA team, I should be a little bit concerned if I want to spend the first overall pick in the draft on you, because I know you probably going to come in here with your stipulations, and you telling me at the college level, you load managing, but when we gotta play 48-minute games, you gonna be doing the same shit at 18, 19 years old? No. He's very talented. His talent says he should be the first overall pick, but this shit here, this shit got to stop. There's no way Daryn Peterson should be logging 18 minutes in a college basketball game. Subbing yourself out is fucking insane. Niggas can make all the excuses in the world for this nigga. There's nothing that you can say to change my mind on this shit. This nigga has potential to be one of the elites of the elites at the NBA level. But you doing this at the college level? I think it's fucking with your stock, honestly. If you want to be honest, I think it's fucking with your stock. So everybody's saying, oh, when March Madness tournament come around, he's going to play all these minutes and people are going to forget about it. That don't really mean shit neither, because he could just be doing that to save face. What does that mean when he gets to the NBA level? Your rookie year. Because ain't no rookie about to sub himself out no game. That ain't going to happen. And you know what's so funny? Because I call him Kawhi Jr. Kawhi just did the same shit the other night. He subbed himself out of a game when he was cooking. Subbed himself out in the third quarter. I said, look at Daryn Peterson pops. But for Daryn Peterson to be load managing at 18 years old is fucking insane. You already missed 11 games with no significant injury. If you're injured, you're injured. You cannot play. I understand it. But other than that, your ass should be out there on that floor, period. Point blank, period. I don't want to hear that. He's protecting himself. And, if he get hurt and all this other shit, nah, cut it out. You're here to play basketball. And you getting money at the college level. So let's cut the shit. You getting paid. So you still getting your NIL bread playing 18 fucking minutes. Get your ass out there and play these games, bro. Period. That's all I really got to say about that. I hope dog turns up in the tournament, get busy, but yeah, it is concerning. It is concerning. Next up, Floyd Mayweather coming out of retirement. So, of course, everybody is saying this nigga is broke. I'm going to be real, bro. Y'all been saying Floyd is broke for at least 10 years now, with no evidence of this nigga being broke. And it seems to be this obsession with Floyd niggas wanting Floyd to be broke. Because he's probably flashy. You know, he flashes money. He's not really like the others. He likes to flaunt his wealth. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. This nigga is undefeated in boxing. He's dedicated his life to boxing. He can do whatever the fuck he want to do. He's the best. But in terms of him coming back, of course, everybody's saying, oh, he's broke. It's a money play and all this other. Let me say this. The fact that he's putting his record on the line tells me that he misses the sport. When you love what you love and you leave it, you can become bored. I don't see people even seeing that as a potential reason why he's coming back. But the fact that he's putting his record on the line tells me that this ain't really a money play. He really wants to challenge himself again. The nigga probably bored. Because if it was just a money play, Floyd could have kept just doing exhibitions to protect his record. The fact that he putting his record on the line tells me that this ain't no money play. This ain't 100% a money play. It's not. Yeah, of course, you want to get your bread. Like, Floyd promotes himself. He got his own promotions. In my opinion, he's going to come out, probably fight for 2-3 fights. At the minimum, get 500 million between those three fights. I mean, it's Floyd Mayweather. He's going to generate the revenue. But this is not 100% a money play. Because I think if it was, he could have just kept doing exhibitions. That's just a nigga who loved the sport. And he still trains like he's going to be boxing the next day. Like, Floyd still looks the same. He still looks in shape. Like, so I know this nigga is still training. He just misses the game. People are saying, oh, at 48, 50 years old, you don't come back unless you need the money. Well, he's putting his record on the line. Floyd controls what he does. If he wanted to just continue to make money, he could have just kept doing exhibitions. But again, the fact that he putting his record on the line tells me that he misses the game. He wants to continue to set records. Let me go ahead and read this. Mayweather has signed an exclusive agreement with CSI Sports Fight Sports as his promoter for the next stage of his career. I still have what it takes to set more records in the sport of boxing, Mayweather said in a written statement to ESPN. From my upcoming Mike Tyson event to my next professional fight afterwards, no one will generate a bigger gate, have a larger global broadcast audience, and generate more money with each event than my events. And I plan to keep doing it with my global media partners, CSI Sports Fight Sports. Mayweather retired from boxing at the age of 40 after his August 2017 knockout win against Conor McGregor, running his record to a perfect 50-0 with 27 wins by stoppage. Yeah, so, hey, man, I'm going to be tuned in. I think Floyd is a GOAT. I think he's a GOAT of boxing. He's one of my top athletes of all time. He's one of the athletes I actually don't argue. Whatever your view of him is, hey, motherfucker's 50-0, never lost and never hit that canvas. But it seems to be this obsession with niggas wanting him to be broke, and I just don't get it. And everything that people say he couldn't do, he did. The nigga went undefeated. He retired undefeated. A defensive assassin. They say he couldn't promote his own fights. He did that. He cut out the middleman. He's generated probably the most money out of any boxer all time. But I'm not buying this broke shit, though. I'm just not doing it. Because, again, if it was about that, he could have just kept doing exhibitions. But he putting that record on the line. So I don't know why that's not a factor for a lot of you niggas when we're assessing this situation. But that has to be major in this discussion if you're going to talk about it. Because what if Terrence Crawford comes out of retirement? Y'all going to say he broke? Or is it because y'all like Terrence Crawford? He ain't really flashy like Floyd. Ask yourself that. So that's pretty much all I got for this week, man. I want to thank y'all for tapping in with me, checking with me as well. Please make sure y'all continue to run it up, pursue them goals, stop procrastinating. You know, up days, down days, stay consistent. And, you know, continue to push towards that, because all we got is the time that we here. And, you know, you never know what's coming the next day. So continue to stack them days. Good days and bad days. Stack them days. Get your ass in the gym. Get y'all funky, lazy asses in the gym. Continue to get your ass in the gym. It'll do wonders for you. And ultimately, please be safe. So like I say every week, this is I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike. And I hope you heard what I said the first time, because I'm not repeating myself. I'm out.